This movie should be good, Jody said as she settled in the couch next to her boyfriend Todd. She and Todd watched the movie every Friday night, and the special time they spent together kept their relationship strong. The movie began, and it soon became intense. It started to reach a pivotal point when her cell phone rang. The sudden noise pulled her out of the story, and she groaned in frustration. She'd forgotten to turn off her phone. Jody glanced at the screen and frowned. It was her mom. Normally she ignored calls during their movie nights, but she felt weird about this one. "I have to take this call," she told Todd. Her boyfriend paused the movie while she answered her phone, but her irritation turned to confusion when she heard her mom sobbing on the other end. "It's Kaylee," her mom gasped. "She's gone." "What are you saying, Mom?" Jody demanded. But the question only prompted her mom to wail. Jody's hands turned clammy and cold. "Put Dad on the line," she said. When her dad came on the call, his voice was hollow. "Your sister killed herself," he said. She felt the blood drain from her face, and she leaned back on the couch. Her dad's words had the same effect as a truck running over her. He told her more details about the death, but none of it made sense. She'd seen Kaylee only a few weeks before, and from what she could recall, nothing was amiss with her baby sister. Jody returned to the family home. Her mother was inconsolable, and her father, meanwhile, had checked out. It therefore fell on Jody to hold it together for the family. She took the week off work and handled the funeral logistics. She didn't mind taking care of the details, since running errands prevented her from thinking about Kaylee. But on the day of the funeral, she was present in body, but her mind was somewhere else. When she went to bed that night, she expected to wake up and find that her sister's death was just a bad dream. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case. Weeks went by, and there was still a lot of work to be done. Since her parents were in no condition to clear out Kaylee's apartment, the task fell on Jody. The moment she walked into the apartment, the silence hit her. The room was exactly how she remembered it, but Kaylee would never again come out to greet her. Jody was gripped by a sudden urge to know why her sister had committed suicide. Kaylee was an aspiring artist and had everything going for her. Why did she do it? Why did she end her life? The questions plagued Jody and prompted her to contact one of Kaylee's friends. But the things she learned brought forth more questions. It seemed that her sister was bullied and betrayed by people she knew, people who she thought were her friends. They had trashed her character and her artwork on social media. The details of her sister's suffering caused anger to rise to her chest. Who would do this to her baby sister? But then just as quickly she became overwhelmed by guilt. How did Jody miss the warning signs that her sister was in trouble? Unfortunately, neither the friend or Jody had answers. When the call ended, Jody went back to packing Kaylee's possessions. It was then that she stumbled on her sister's phone. She picked it up and tried unsuccessfully to guess the password. 10 minutes later, she threw the phone down in disgust. What she needed to know was locked inside that phone, and there was no way she could access the information. But then 10 months passed by, and Jody continued to feel listless and depressed. She discovered that nighttime was the worst. At that time, her mind conjured up different scenarios, and none of them were good. Jody blinked back her tears. Her sister likely suffered so much pain, and that was why she decided to end it all. One day after work, Jody laid on the couch, going over old pictures on her phone. She decided to scroll through her contact list, but paused when she saw her sister's number. A wave of sadness hit her, but she realized that this was a number that she could no longer call. She clicked to remove it, but then the prompt came up. "Are you sure you want to delete this contact?" Panic rose to her chest, and tears flooded her eyes once again. "No!" she yelled. She never wanted to delete Kaylee from her life. Just then, Todd entered their small apartment. "Let's go out tonight," he started to say. He stopped short when he saw her face. "What's wrong?" "I can't delete Kaylee," she sobbed. The cheerful expression fell from his face as he looked at the phone in her hand. "You have to stop punishing yourself, Jody. Your sister was determined to end her life. There wasn't anything you or anyone else could have done to stop her." "How could you know this?" she asked, her voice rising. "I could have spent more time with her. Maybe if I did, I could have stopped her from killing herself." She slammed her fist on the couch. Her sister was gone. She would never grow old, and Jody would never laugh or joke with her baby sister ever again. Todd opened his mouth to speak, but then he shook his head. "We went over this before," he sighed. "I'm going for a walk." The door closed behind him, and Jody began to cry harder. But then after many long minutes, she became exhausted, and she couldn't shed another tear. But even through her sorrow, she recognized that Todd had stood by her side all this time. He often told her that he hated seeing her miserable, and she felt terrible for dragging him down with her. But what he said was true. As hard as it was to admit it, she really had no power to save her sister. As Jody mulled over her outburst, the image of Todd's happy expression floated in front of her. Suddenly she bolted from her seat. It was his birthday today. He wanted to go out tonight to celebrate, but she was so absorbed in the past that she forgot about the present. When her boyfriend returned an hour later, Jody apologized to him. "Are you still up for going out for your birthday?" He looked at her with surprise. "Are you sure?" he asked. "Yes," she said. Jody still missed Kaylee, but as much as she wanted her sister to be alive, she was gone. She accepted this now. She also accepted that she had no control over what had happened to her younger sister. The only thing she could control was her present. And it was up to her to live a great and fulfilling life, a life that her sister would have wanted her to have. What did you guys think of the story? Please comment in the comment section below. I can't wait to read your answers and discussions. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get the latest stories to warm your heart. Until next time, bye.